Hello everyone, this is Sriradha Debroy, your sociology educator. So if you are a student of sociology or even if you are not, this video is going to be helpful for you all. So keep watching this video till the end because I am going to discuss something very relevant and important in today's context. Now you must have guessed from the title that today's video is all about social vaccine. Now we all know what a vaccine is. A vaccine is basically a substance that contains some harmless form of a particular germ that causes a disease. Now this vaccine is introduced in a person's body so that the person can fight that germ or the disease at a later stage in his life. But what is a social vaccine? So without wasting much time, let us get into the details of the video to know what a social vaccine is. Now these are my basic details. Now before going into the details of the video, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you do not miss out any of the videos uploaded in this channel. So the Union Health Minister recently said that social distancing and lockdown are the most effective social vaccines available to fight the pandemic. Now what is a social vaccine? So in a recent publication by the Hindu newspaper, social vaccine was defined as a metaphor for a series of social and behavioral measures that governments can use to raise public consciousness about unhealthy situations through social mobilization. So social vaccine is basically a set of measures that governments can use to raise public consciousness. That is, the government can use these measures to increase public awareness about unhealthy situations prevailing in society, and these can be done through social mobilization or mobilization of the public. So what are the advantages of social mobilization? So by social mobilization we can resist unhealthy practices, increase resilience and foster advocacy for change. So by mobilizing the people, we can resist the unhealthy practices prevailing in society. Thereby we can increase resilience or increase the capacity of the people to recover quickly from diseases, and thereby we can move towards a positive change in society. Again, we can also hold governments accountable to address the social determinants of health by adopting progressive socioeconomic policies and regulatory mechanisms that promote health equity and reduce vulnerability to disease. So you see, in the current scenario, the onus is on the government to address the health issues faced by the people and thereby reducing their vulnerability to the diseases. So in case of pandemics, the effectiveness of social vaccine is dependent upon the extent of dissemination and uptake of accurate information about personal infection risk and the methods to reduce risk through a variety of means. So basically in the current scenario, you can see that the effectiveness of social vaccine is determined by the extent of dissemination and uptake of accurate information. So whatever information is disseminated or given by the government through these media agencies, as well as the extent to which we are taking up this information about what things will cause risk and what things will not cause risk, as well as the methods to reduce risk through a variety of means. So how does a social vaccine work? It works basically by attempting to change the behavior of people. So the government is trying to change the attitudes, the social, cultural or economic ways of thinking by changing the behavior of people. So it is asking us not to do handshake and greet people, but rather greet people by folding hands. So you see, through a change of the behaviors and the ways we think, our attitudes, our social, cultural and economic ways of thinking, it tries to change society in a better way. So you see, in the current pandemic situation, social vaccine is working by making a change in the way people think and behave. Thirdly, there is a supplementation of information, education and communication with targeted social and behavioral change communication strategies. Now, what is meant by these? In the current scenario, there is a spread of information, education and communication. So the government is basically trying to spread information and educate people through various communication strategies. So you see advertisements everywhere, over the phone calls, over the television. You see there are various ways of informing you about how to protect yourself from the coronavirus situation. So this is basically done with targeted social and behavioral communication change. So these messages in the phone calls and TVs tell you that you should maintain social distancing, you should stay at quarantine in your home. There is an attempt to spread information through various communication channels which aim at targeting the behavioral change of people in society. Now, this is not the first time that a society is using social vaccine in case of a pandemic. In fact, in the case of HIV/AIDS, for a long time, social vaccine had been the only form of remedy available to fight a pandemic. So, this HIV/AIDS had become a global pandemic by 1985. So, there was no proper cure available to the disease, and therefore, there was a global panic surrounding the infected individuals as well as health workers. So, there was stigma associated with these people. Now, in 1995 only, the HAART, or highly active antiretroviral treatment, was introduced, which remained the only available treatment to cure the HIV/AIDS. Now, before that, it had become a pandemic, and the prevention to these pandemic lied only in the use of social vaccine. So, what were the social vaccine used? So, the social vaccine used in this case was 100% faithfulness to one's own sexual partner and 100% condom use outside stable relationships. So, how is social vaccine working in the current scenario of pandemics? So, physical distancing in social situations. So, we are asked to maintain a physical distance of, say, at least 1 meter gap in shopping queues. Then we are asked to use facial coverings or face masks. Then there is regular sanitization and disinfection. So we are asked to use hand sanitizers regularly and disinfect our homes and localities regularly. Then there is an inflow of information, education and communication of messages. So the government is giving us messages through various communication channels about how to maintain personal safety. Thereby it is increasingly working towards a behavioral change of the people. Now we have promotion by leaders as well. So if the leaders promote these measures regularly as well as consistently, the public is more inclined to practice these measures properly. Then we can also hold the governments accountable. How can this be done? So the government can be held accountable by asking them to rapidly increase the frequency of tests, then meeting the needs of the vulnerable sections of the people, that is those who are in actual need, then providing personal protective equipments to the people and the health workers, and as well as not compromising the dignity of the people. So there is basically a component of building trust between the government and the public. Also, the government can fund the micro, small and medium enterprises to produce personal protective equipments, sanitizers, face masks, soaps and various other equipments which ensure the safety of the people. So you see, as long as there is no medicine or proper vaccine invented to fight the pandemic, these measures, which are also termed as social vaccine, shall remain the only option to mitigate the disastrous effect of the deadly virus. So with this, I end this video. I hope it was helpful and informative for you all. If yes, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Till then, keep shining.